What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports talking in the building. Um, Lions live chat. Ain't too much going on the Pistons front. I want to say that from the beginning. A whole bunch of speculation about the coaching right now between Dwayne Casey and M.A. Udoka. Former Spurs player and former assistant as well. So there's nothing going on the Pistons front right now. It's like day 60 since the season ended. They don't have a head coach. But it is something going on the Lions front. A few Lions news before we get into the topic of discussion. They have some joint practices with some 5 joint practices with some other NFL teams this offseason, man. I believe the Raiders and the Giants are the 2 teams they're having some 5-day practices with, man. And excuse me. Also, T.O. Redden is tearing it up in a camp. He might make the 5th receiver, or they might put him on a practice squad. He's from Bowling Green. He's doing really, really well. One of them undrafted free agents they got. Sound like the Lions have he got a steal. So if they put him on a practice squad, he may just get snatched up off the practice squad. So what's going on, Wendell Frederick? So that's something to look out for. Also, there's no news on Nick Baldwin's ACL injury or knee injury. It's rumored to be an ACL injury, but the Lions are being very, very quiet about that and being secretive as they usually do. But to the topic of discussion, why does Detroit media hate, head coach Matt Patricia? I mean, we have some sorry coaches in here: Rob Marinelli, Mariucci, Jim Caldwell, Jim Schwartz. Not calling them all sorry, but Rob Marinelli went 0-16, and he didn't get this hate at any point, even when he was going at 0-15 and eventually 0-16 from the Detroit media. And I'm trying to figure out why the Detroit media has it in for Matt Patricia. I mean, first is the Detroit News digging up the dirt on Matt Patricia about the 1996 his alleged sexual assault in 1996. I mean, the Patriots said they didn't know about it, but the Detroit News dug it up about him. And then yesterday, Detroit Lions article came out with no sources, no unknown off the record sources, and said that he's losing the control of the team because he's making them run sprints for every time somebody does something wrong and makes a mistake. So obviously they jump into conclusions, and maybe some players did off the record talk to them, but the guy who wrote the article, Carl, whatever it is, he's the known Detroit Lions hater, and that's the Detroit media, man. Detroit media is like, man, they're the biggest haters of most of these major franchises in this city, man. They're nowhere near positive with any of these franchises, man. I like Mike Valente, but the Lions cut ties with him in 97 with a ticket because he was so negative about the Lions, and to be honest, rightfully so. You can't be negative because, since the Forest took over, we know the history. So it's just so much negativity around the Lions, but not just around the Lions, around the Pistons and these other teams, around Matt Patricia in particular. I've never seen a coach come into this city since I've been alive, in the almost 30 years I've been alive, which is 29 to be exact. If you didn't know, now you know. I've never seen the amount of hate somebody step into a job, and it's not even a glamour job. It's not even a job that, people say, okay, he don't deserve this job. He the coach. He became the coach of the New England Patriots or the San Antonio Spurs or LA Lakers. He don't even deserve that job. Like, for whatever reason it is, the media members have not embraced Matt Patricia. They've acting like he's the reincarnation of Satan in the city of Detroit. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell did he do? I mean, when they were talking about he was potentially going to be the hire here, because we all knew that for quite some time. He was going to be the hire. I didn't hear none of the hate. So what did he do between the time he was supposed to be hired and potentially go to the Giants or then eventually come to the Lions and after the Super Bowl to now? I don't understand, like, what did he do? And I hear in the article that the guy wrote the other day, excuse my phone. I hear in the article that they was mad because he don't talk to the media the way he's supposed to. He's close to the vest with the injuries and he's very mum. And they said, well, at least Jim Caldwell used to have conversations with us. And Matt Patricia is very, very quiet. And he's, I guess they're mad because he doesn't talk to them. He don't release information. He's not an open book. He's about his business. But guess what? That's the Patriot way. Bill Belichick is the exact same way. But you don't hear the New England media turn on him. And obviously so, because he's winning football games. But we haven't even gave Matt Patricia the opportunity to win or lose football games before they jumped on his case. And obviously it's not racial, you know, had black coaches, white coaches, you know, all different type of coaches come here. And they all, you know, in my opinion, from what I remember, they all pretty much got a chance. Even Gary Motor, you know, he got a chance. They all got chances, you know. And with the Lions at this point, they're not giving Matt Patricia a clean start, a clean slate. They hit him with the little sexual assault 96, the last case, to kind of, you know, mess up his feng shui and mess up his momentum here. Then they hit him with this BS article we talked about the other day about how he lost control of the players, but no players on the record saying anything about running, how they or complaining about running when somebody makes a mistake. So I just need to know, like what did this guy do besides not, you know, talk to the media? I've never remember any too many Lions head coaches that's been an open book with the media as far as telling them about injuries and this and that. Maybe because he's not giving off the record sources as well too. But at the end of the day, I mean, get a guy a chance. What did he do? Is it any other coaching candidates that these media members wanted? You know, is he? You know, he's you allowed to go to the press workouts. That workouts they open to the press. You know, I mean, is he not letting them interview the players, or he trying to bring that New England culture where you just say a minimum to the media, keep it moving? You know, because you know you hear a lot of people come out the Patriots camp, you know, saying that was the worst time of my life. It was boring. I couldn't say or do nothing. And it was an unhappy atmosphere. But guess what? I don't care if it's an unhappy atmosphere. You know, as long as the Lions are winning games. You know, let this dude lose some games first before you jump on the case with the Detroit media. You know why they really are like really angry about stuff? Because like guys like Adrian Wojnarowski with ESPN is able to get information out of the organization before they are. The Lions the major teams from the Lions, especially the Pistons and the Lions, from what I can really remember to this day, they don't leak any information to Detroit media. Usually people from outside of Detroit in the media knows what's going on in Detroit before Detroit news writers and beat writers know. The dude from ESPN, Adrian Wojnarowski, and all these other guys, Adam Scheffner and Mike Mayock and all these beat writers outside of Detroit knows what's going on with the Lions and the other NBA beat writers knows what's going on with the Pistons before the Detroit writers do. And I think that's why the Detroit writers are very, very angry with the Pistons and the Lions, because they don't get the sources and the links that outside sources do. And when you don't do your job in your city and other people outside your city is doing your job better than you could, I think it's not a good look. And I think that's one of the major bones that the media in Detroit has with Matt Patricia. Not Matt Patricia, but has with all Detroit sports. You know, they supposed to know things first, and obviously these organizations don't leak to them. They leak to ESPN. They leak to NFL Network. They leak to NBA TV. You know, and right now I think the media has had it. They want to really stick it to the Lions. They want to stick it to the Fords. They want to know things before ESPN knows things. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they gave Jim Caldwell a fair shot, because remember Jim Caldwell press conference was probably way better introduction press conference than Detroit Lions organization the scene. He was very captivated. He talked a bit about his faith, his past, and which way he wanted to go with the media. Obviously, he didn't carry himself as Patricia carried herself, and then had a background baggage allegedly that Patricia had. And I think the media liked Caldwell to know what they got in Caldwell right now, and they missed Caldwell according to that article that was wrote. We talked about yesterday. Or even Jim Caldwell didn't do this and that. But you guys were the same guys that was forcing Jim Caldwell out the door with your article saying he had to go, and all of a sudden, you know, Patricia's here. You know, you want Jim Caldwell back because Jim Caldwell was more of an open book, and he had a rapport with the reporters and the media. No, it don't work that way. At the end of the day, I think this might be a good sign. You know, where he's getting all this flack and this backlash and this dislike for the media. He's not a media darling coming in. He's establishing that shit right now. Excuse my language. I believe that's the way you want to be, because all the other coaches came in here and the media gave him a shot. So maybe this might be a sign or a little, you know, sign from God or higher power that this shit might work. Excuse my language again. But it might work, because now the media is not giving him opportunity when they gave every other coach that came here opportunity when they got here. So this may work. You know, Patricia, I mean, I've been following the Lions pretty closely, man, of lately, man. And, you know, he might not be an open book, but what's the issue? You know, he actually got a plan in place for his defense. He got a plan in place for the offense, special team, and everything else. I mean, Let him get the opportunity to mess up first. He ain't messed up yet because he ain't had an opportunity to. He really hasn't, man. And the media has an issue with him not releasing information. And Detroit media, man, they need to look at themselves first, man, to be honest. Let's be real. If they tired of ESPN and NFL Network and guys like that getting the beat and getting the rumors first before they do, how about they change their approach? I mean, so much negativity surrounded by the Lions in the media. It's just negativity, but they want to be the first ones to want to be there when the Lions fail or when they win or they're successful or they're not successful. They want to be the first people sitting in the media room eating off the spread they got in the back of the media room. They want to be the first people with a camera in their face, with a mic in the player's face. As soon as they fall, as soon as they rise, they want to be the first on the scene. But all they do is, talk negative about the team. It's negativity. It's negativity. Excuse me. It's negativity. It's negativity. It's nothing but negativity surrounded by Lions. We have enough negativity around the Detroit Lions. Let's keep it real. We have enough negativity. It's absolutely enough. We're losing. We're not winning playoffs. Okay, we know this. So why do you need unadded pressure from the media? How about the media just do their job, ask the questions? If you don't get the answer you want, understand you got to press. That's rules of journalism. At the end of the day, don't turn your back and try to, kiss Patricia's ass or kiss his organization's ass. And excuse my language once again. Kiss their butt and then turn around and then talk bad about them because you didn't get what you wanted. It's like, being with a girl for the first time or first couple times in a date. You take her out and you don't get what you want at the end of the day. And you just badmouth her. But at the end of the day, you're just trying to, smooch on her. That's not what you do. And that's why the Lions cut ties with 97 won a ticket, which I love the show. Love Mike Valenti. And hopefully Terry Foster's doing well. Bless his heart. But yeah, you can't be, kissing their butt and when they with them and asking for stuff off the record or on the record and then turn around and write a shitty ass article. If I'm the Detroit Lions, man, I cut ties with some of these press members, man. Like all this negativity and all this reaching out. It's one thing if the Lions going out there getting dominated by the Bills and the Packers and the Seahawks and the Bengals and the Steelers and stuff like that on a consistent basis. And then you have no other choice but to write negativity. But when you're in training camp and you're trying to reach for a story and reach for clicks and reach for views, talking about Patricia has lost the players. No, he didn't lose the player. How do you lose the players in LTAs? You don't lose the players in OTAs. We are here reaching for negativity and trying to create a negative storm in the organization that you're going to turn around. The media members are going to turn around to get in that media spread, get some pop, get some chicken, get some cantaloupe, get some pineapple in the back of the media room and be in there trying to kiss the Lions' butt. If the Lions ever do win, man, and they win, I don't want to hear none of these media members kissing their butt because they created so much negativity around unneeded and unasked for negativity around the Detroit Lions, man. None. I mean, right now, Matt Patricia should be getting adjusted to his team and doing the hell what he wants to do with his team. No matter if he makes some run sprints for whoever dropped the ball and made a mistake, that's his way. And if an NFL player then come to you off the record or on the record and say, well, a lot of the players not feeling Matt Patricia, man, we want him up out of here already. We don't like what he's doing, making us run and doing this little elementary JV freshman crap. You know what I'm saying? If a player did come to you and say that and give you the ammo in the hard record, the hard evidence of that article title, all that shit was opinionated. It was pulled out of thin air. It was made up. It was brainstormed, whatever you want to call it. And when you create negativity right there, I wouldn't want you in my media room. I don't care if you're from the Free Press, the News, the Mars, the Read 'em and Weep, Pluto. I don't care. I would ban that guy that read that article from my media room. I would ban him. And I think the Lions need to take a hard stance on some of these media members. Now, the thing about the media members and taking a hard stance with them is you need the media and all sorts. You need the media. The media was what popularizes, boxers, basketball players, athletes, teams, NHL players. It's it popularize it. You do need the media. The media is the bridge from the team into the fans into the rest of the nation. So you just can't delete the media out of the Lions organization. What you can do is ban certain people that wrote a whole bunch of false propaganda about your team. What you can do is increase the number of people ESPN can see, the people Fox can see. Excuse me, the national press. You can do that. You can increase those people from the press, for the national press and decrease the number of people you got from the media, the local media, because the local media around here is horrible, man. They don't know what's going on before nothing. I mean, you hear Chris Mortensen, oh, the Lions, Amir Abdullah has a calf injury, he out. The major media didn't even know that. They didn't know it until Chris Mortensen reported it. I'm just saying hypothetically. You know, the Lions would trade Rory the lion for Tickles the Lion, and you wouldn't even know it. You know, they don't know nothing. We know before the major media know about stuff happening in this town. We know about the same time than they know. The local media thing. The local media around here is terrible, and the reason they so mad is because the Lions don't communicate with them. They have broken that trust with the Lions organization. You know, what did Orlando say? You don't, bro. I feel you. I'm cool with running sprints and OTA start. He's still doing that. Then that's high school shit. You have to prepare for the season. And you don't need the media. We got you. Yeah, I mean, that's high school shit. But at the end of the day, if no player complained about it, you know, if nobody came to whoever wrote this article, which I'm about to look his name up. I think it's like Carlos Martinez, whatever. If nobody wrote this article, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, then he pulled it out of thin air. You know, if nobody say, you know what, dog, man, I hate running these fucking sprints, bro. You know, man, this is some high school shit. Even though we all know that's high school shit. But if nobody complained about it, you know, it's nothing to be talked about, in my opinion. You know, it's nothing to be talked about. Yeah, Carlos or I don't know his last name, but it's Carlos Monazars or whatever. You know, a whole bunch of guys who ain't never played local high school football. When they played football, they was water boys, man. You could tell. They ain't never played no football. You know, a lot of these motherfucking these writers around here is terrible, man. A lot of media members and it's terrible, man. You gotta start looking at it, man. A lot of the articles they write, and then when the team does good, they want to act like they was down for the cause. I understand your job as a as a media member is to you know, call it down the middle and call it how you see it. But, you know, trying to add on to the negativity, man, that's not cool, man. Trying to create a schism is not cool, but I'm trying to redo. You know, I guess they do have a quote from I don't know if, I mean, he could have misquoted this guy, but Kerryon Johnson, I don't see a rookie saying this. These are true professionals, rookie running back said Tuesday, marveling. Yeah, he's talking about, Kerryon Johnson is talking about see how he tried to throw this shit in the article, bro? He tried to throw this shit at the top of the article. Sorry for my language. These are true professionals. Rookie running back Kerryon Johnson said Tuesday, marveling at the talent level difference between college and NFL. Now, if you didn't read that, you thought Kerryon Johnson said these are grown men, 30, 25, and 30, 35, and 25, talking about the running. He tried to mix that in to make the article seem like it had substance. Excuse me. John Hannon, what's going on, bro? They don't want us to be happy. Exactly. They don't want the Lions to be good, but as soon as the Lions start winning, they want to jump on the hype train. Oh, I was a Lion fan. I was, you know, all that, man. You know, this is too early to start with the negativity with the Lions, man. This is exactly too early. You know, at the end of the day, you know, they wanted Jim Caldwell up out of here, man. They really did. They wanted Jim Caldwell up out of here. And wasn't nobody saying, oh, we should have kept Jim Caldwell. Wasn't nobody saying that. Didn't nobody say, oh, Terrell Austin did an excellent job with his defense, and even when this defense was scraps, he still made it into a formidable defense. Ain't nobody asking for him for his job to be saved. Ain't nobody asking for Jim Caldwell's job to be saved. Wasn't nobody asking for why Jim really standing on top of the fucking Penobscot building, on top of the Renaissance building, and saying why is Jim Bob Cooter still here? Why is Jim Bob? Nobody ever said that. You know, everybody knew Jim Bob Cooter should have been gone, man. Really, everybody knew Jim Bob Cooter should have been gone. But you didn't hear none of these writers, you know, really beat that into an article. They ain't really say nothing about Jim Bob Cooter like that. You know, when it's time to be negative and it's time to really stand for something, these writers don't want to stand for nothing, man. You know, like I said, these are a whole bunch of geeky writers who ain't never ran a wind sprint, who ain't never did a push-up, who ain't never hit the sled, who ain't never made a tackle, who ain't never ran sideline to sideline, never played football. And that's cool. You don't have to play the game to know the game, but guess what, man? Don't talk about nothing you really don't know about, man. You know, at the end of the day, this is a very, very opinionated article. And on top of that, they try to draw even Jim Schwartz and Jim Caldwell didn't make the players do it. At the end of the day, shut up. Because what Jim Caldwell and Jim Schwartz did respectively, did not work and did not transition or translate into playoff wins. It didn't. So why should Matt Patricia come in and do it any other way than his way? Because when you do stuff, people's other way, and you the head coach or whatever you run it, when you do it somebody else's way and it don't succeed, you in your head, you wish like, man, what if I would have did it my way? It could have worked. So let him build his, if he, like Carlos, whatever this guy's name is, like he's saying, if he's done this the wrong way, let him do it his way the wrong way, okay? Let him do it the wrong way, and then when he get fired, or whatever happens in his career, he can just look back and say, okay, I was wrong. And then the media members can say, see, I told you it was wrong, or you was wrong. I didn't think it was going to work. But give a guy a chance. Try something new. Okay, John Hannon. We all happy about Matt P, and they trying to ruin it. They want drama, and the Lions don't tell the media shit, so they mad. Exactly. And it's always been like that. Tom LeWine, Martin Mayhew, they didn't say nothing. I think Matt Millen was a little bit more cordial with the media because he was a play-by-play announcer or a TV analyst, so he was an idiot anyway. The Patriots organization was historically quiet about what they do and still is. The Lions been quiet about what they do. This ain't no secret. We didn't know if Calvin Johnson was playing some Sundays until the minute before the game or 10 minutes before the game. That's facts. So this ain't nothing new. It's not like the Lions was an open book of knowledge and an open book of just telling what everything going on with the team. Caldwell was like that. Schwartz was like that. It was like that, man. So they want to act like it was something different, like it's been a tradition of telling what's going on with the Lions around here. We don't know who's starting and playing until game time, man. Remember that one year Calvin Johnson, we thought he was going to play. We weren't sure if he was going to play in Green Bay a couple years ago. And it was like Yeah, it was like a few years ago, man. We didn't know if he was going to play. And they didn't say before the minute of the game he wasn't going to play. And everybody said, I ain't going to watch the game anyway. We ended up being blew out. Streetwise Television, what's going on? What's good, fam? I agree with one of the I agree. This was one of the proudest. Yeah. What's up, Mr. Penn? Yeah, this is terrible, man. I mean, I can see if this guy was here from last year, holdover, and he went, he had a good team, he had expectations, he just missed the playoffs, so he went 5-11. Or this was an unqualified candidate. They hired the Detroit Catholic Central head coach as the Lion head coach, or they got a 3-3 head coach, and you questioning his tactics. I understand that. Then I'm like, oh, cool. Carlos, that's a solid article. You got a solid point. This is a guy that legitimately was qualified to be a head coach by everybody in major media and around the NFL. He earned his job. He earned a job. So if he was an unqualified candidate or he was a candidate that the Lions reached for, I will understand this article. But at the end of the day, he's a qualified candidate. Streetwatch Television. Presses in America now, they're going down the drain because of nothing but negativity. Exactly. It's such a shame. Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame. They don't have nothing to talk about, so they got to reach for negativity. But, like I say, controversy sells. It does sell out there. Controversy very, very much does sell. But at the end of the day, man, it's just too early for this, man. It's way entirely too early for this for the Detroit Lions, man. I mean, he needs to take his energy and put it on the Pistons. Like, it's day 60, and the Detroit Pistons, since the end of the season, hasn't signed a head coach. They narrow it down to 2 people. I mean, didn't interview Mark Jackson as well either. Put some negativity on them. Why are they taking so long to hire a president of basketball operations and a head coach? That's something to look at and talk about before you talk about what this doing in training camp. That's what you talk about, man. This is the Detroit Lions. They need every disciplinary action they can get. If the Lions was in the fucking military, dude, they still be running from last season. Orlando, hopefully we can break the Patriots' assistant curse. I mean, that shit's been terrible. I mean, who you got? Romeo Cornell, he didn't do shit. Well, he was with the Browns. That's impossible. What was the white guy named? Charlie Weiss. He didn't do shit with Kansas. He didn't do nothing with Notre Dame. But respectfully, if you look at those, those two in particular, I mean, nobody's winning with the Browns. Even Bill Belichick didn't win with the Browns. He was the head coach. And Romeo Cornell, I mean, Tyron Willingham, he didn't win with the Notre Dame. I think he replaced him. Nobody won with Notre Dame until Brian Kelly got over there. And then he still ain't won. He still haven't reached the standards Notre Dame want. Notre Dame want national championships. I mean, at the end of the day, he had Michigan pulled off the schedule. You know what I'm saying? They got smashed by Alabama. Remember Manti Te'o and his girlfriend. Then You go, what's the kid, Josh McDaniels? I mean, I think he was just too young for the Broncos job. He was winning at first, but guess what? Any team that Brandon, what his name is, any team Brandon Marshall was on never won a playoff game till last year. The people thought still last year, until people thought the Giants was pretty good, but I mean, as soon as Brandon Marshall got in the game, Odell got hurt. Shout out to Odell Beckham getting hurt last year, man. Because he did a legal crackback or a legal blindside hit on Gerard Davis for the Lions last year, and he turned around and get his knee blew out. That was justice. Nobody talked about that illegal crackback or blindside he did on Jared Davis. And after that, Gerard Davis wasn't the same player after that concussion he suffered from Odell Beckham and that cheap shot. I don't know how many people remember that from the night game with the Giants. But nobody. I mean, a lot of those assistants was in a bad position, man. I mean, Bill O'Brien. I mean, he did pretty good with Penn State. He brought Penn State back to relevance. Then was the coach Franklin down there. He really took him to the next level. So it ain't been as bad as it seemed with the Patriots curse, in my opinion. They just got some fucked up jobs, man. I mean, the Cleveland Brown job, Bill Belichick couldn't win there. I mean, Romeo Crennel, he had no choice. He had no chance. I mean, Bill O'Brien did good at Penn State. He doing solid in the Texans. I don't know it took him so long to start Deshaun Watson, but he ended up hitting the gym with that one. Hopefully he get healthy. So they all been bad. I mean, they had some bad coaching jobs. Charlie Weiss, I mean, he didn't do nothing at Notre Dame. He didn't do nothing at Kansas but get fired, didn't he? He did something controversial in Kansas. So yeah, they really didn't have too many. The most successful assistant they had was Bill O'Brien, I guess. Oh, what's about the kid, the one that looked like the penguin? Eric McGinney, draw snitched on Bill Belichick. So his coaching tree ain't been good. He came from the Bill Belichick coaching tree itself, and Bill Belichick spawned some good coaches as well. Then you got the West Coast system that spawned Steve Mariucci and what's the coach for Mike McCarthy and what was the guy, the big fat guy? I mean, he looks like Andy Reid, man. Mike Holmgren. So, that was a more plentiful head coaching tree than West Coast tree, man. It's not really a curse, but they tried to be Bill Belichick. That's why they felt. Matt P is his own man and coach. Yeah, a lot of them try to be Bill Belichick, but a lot of them just got messed up positions too. I don't think Romeo Crennel was trying to be Bill Belichick. He was simply Romeo Crennel, which is a better coordinator. Charlie Weiss, I think he was too arrogant. I think Charlie Weiss started to smell himself, bro. He thought Charlie Weiss was arrogant. Bill O'Brien, he's an arrogant guy. You can tell he's arrogant, but guess what? He's smart enough to know that it's not my way or the highway. He took Deshaun Watson. He molded his job was on the line. Of course, he wanted to start a regular quarterback, a pocket quarterback, but he took his offense and he built it around and he made it flexible around Deshaun Watson, and it worked and it saved his job. It saved his job. So I mean, Romeo Crennel was a better coordinator. Eric Mangini tried to be Bill Belichick. It didn't work. I think Charlie Weiss was just an arrogant SOB. It didn't work for him. Josh McDaniels was too young. He wasn't like Bill Belichick. He was just too young. He was too arrogant as well, too. So you got two that's in the arrogant category in Charlie Weiss and Josh McDaniels. You got one in Romeo Crennel that went to a messed up situation with the Browns and is better as a coordinator. Bill O'Brien, he's probably the best one out of all of them. And you got one that tried to be like Bill Belichick and Eric McGinney, So you got to look at that, man. Streetwise Television, dude, my thing is they want Matt Patricia to share info for them, but they did it to themselves with Matt Patricia's sexual assault allegation. I know it's a story, but at the same time, that's a waste. That was a waste. Exactly. It wasn't the Free Press. It was the Detroit News. But I feel you. They broke the trust. The media, the local media, broke the trust with Matt Patricia. So Matt Patricia ain't saying nothing. They trying to act like they supposed to snitch on him and help him and take food out his family mouth and take money out his pocket. And he's supposed to be all cordial nice with him. Oh yeah, we love you. I'm not gonna forget you threw a stone behind my back. No, like Matt Patricia, like, man, y'all try to do this shit to me, and I ain't even did nothing wrong. Now y'all want to come to me and act like we buddy. No, they broke that trust with the media, and that's why a lot of athletes don't trust the media. That's why a lot of people don't trust the media. The media is evil, and he's right. Streetwise Television made an excellent point. How you gonna snitch on me or try to get me fired out of a job over some shit that happened over 20 years ago? Over 20 years ago, this happened. You bring this up, try to get me fired, And then you want to come back and ask me to give you information and try to be buddy-buddy. When you try to knock me off my pivot and knock me off top of the mountain. I mean, it wasn't like nobody from the Ohio television channel number 7 came here or 5 came here and tried to fire Patricia. It wasn't like a Packers media outlet or a Vikings or a Bears media outlet or the Patriots a media outlet that got mad at Matt Patricia. This was his own local media. He just got here. As soon as he get here, they try to burn him and fry him before he even gets a chance to blow the whistle. So you expect him to forget that quick? He not gonna never forget that. If he got to talk to the media, he gonna choose his words very, very selectively and carefully. He won't give them opportunity to twist his words up. He won't go off the record with them neither. He gonna go do interviews with NFL Network. He gonna go do interviews with ESPN, NBC, Fox. He gonna do media obligations with them before before he even talk to the Detroit media. So when information leak out about the Lions, don't even look at the Detroit Free Press and News. Go straight to ESPN, Fox, NFL Network, NBC. Because they didn't burn that bridge with Patricia before they even got a chance. And yeah, right, John Hannon, excuse me. He wasn't even guilty. They pulled up some shit that was alleged, and they talking about, well, the background check people didn't find it. Yeah, because he was not guilty. So if you do a criminal background check on people, and he's not guilty, it's not gonna come up in his criminal record. You feel me? It's not gonna come up in his criminal record. So, in my opinion, like, what's going on? It was a non-discussion, man. And now they want this guy to come back and kiss their butts and tell them stuff. And they wonder why the Detroit media is always out the loop when breaking news go down. They wonder why Chris Mortensen and what's the boy-headed guy from Fox? You funny, Jay Glazer. And Jay Glazer know the injury report and what's going on with the Lions before the media and the local media. And they want to cry and stuff of that nature. They get on my nerves, man. They really do. And you don't really know once you get older until you start reading the articles and start, reading the newspaper and you start looking at all the press clippings that the Free Press, Detroit News, and them guys are putting out there and see how negative they are towards the Lions. I mean, and people say, well, the Lions ain't won that. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a fresh, clean slate for Matt Patricia. He ain't even had an opportunity to lose yet. And they already being negative and trying to knock him. Whatever he did, I don't know if it was just a coaching candidate that these guys didn't want. Let's speak on it, man, before we end this video. What was the issue with Matt Patricia coming to Detroit? Why did they dig up his past like that? Why are they making negative articles about him like that? What's the issue with Matt Patricia? I don't know. I don't know what he did. What did he do to him? Did he ask for some gas money? He didn't give it to one of the media members or something like that. So I truly don't know. Why? Riderless 2D, the Free Press is a joke at this point. I mean, it's not even it's a Free Press in Detroit News. Detroit News, the other Detroit paper, was the one that talked about his alleged sexual assault that got dismissed, and now the Free Press is writing fugazi stuff about him. So at the end of the day, both of the newspaper outlets, the only one that hasn't did any negative on them is M Live. And I believe M Live is very much younger than the Press and Detroit News. John Hannon. And I feel bad for whose job it was to do the background check, because after that story came out, they were calling it for the person's head who did the background check. Yeah, they was. But at the end of the day, to do the background check, he wasn't guilty, so that's not going to show up in your background. If it's just a criminal background check, that's not going to come up. That's not going. And I feel that whoever actually dug that up, I think they had that way before he got hired. They held on to that. Orlando, everybody wants to break a story and find discovery for a splash like outside the line. Exactly, you're right. They needed They needed that traffic flow to come through their website. They wanted them hits for them clicks for Detroit News. But in the meanwhile, when you do that, you kind of sever a relationship that you're gonna need from a guy. Because what if this guy come on and do great or do bad or whatever it may be, and you want a story with this guy, and he's not even gonna give you a story. He's not gonna talk to you. He gonna go talk to M Live before he talk to you. He gonna go talk to ESPN before he talk to you. So he might talk to me before he talk to them. Real shit. He not talking to them no more. Now he got a vendetta against them. And I know he's bracing for those press conferences, man. He don't even want to do them press conferences. But at the end of the day, this from Patricia, man, I feel for him, dog. I just want to see him get a shot. Was I mad that Jim Caldwell got fired? Absolutely not. It didn't bring me no difference, man. Because, I'm going to speak on Jim Caldwell for a minute and read these last couple. Y'all got more questions. Go ahead and ask them now. I'm about to log off. And I wasn't mad. I mean, Jim Caldwell, I was more angry that Terrell Austin got fired. Because Jim Caldwell, he just, man, I don't know what it was, man. I didn't like the direction of the team was going in, man. I don't care that he didn't get mad and throw the Gatorade bucket and the referee or nothing like that. I'm not mad at him for that. I just didn't think that I didn't like the team where it was going with him, man. Offensively, defensively, I was doing good. Tonada went out last year, man. But could Jim Caldwell got another year? Yeah, but it was time to go into a different direction because you got to remember, Bob Quinn didn't want Jim Caldwell here. He couldn't fire Jim Caldwell. I think because he made the playoffs the year before Bob Quinn got here or something like that. So at the end of the day, he was successful. But at the end of the day, when you're a general manager like Bob Quinn, you want your own guy in there. So he wanted his own guy in there. At the end of the day, I was more mad about Terrell Austin, but I understood that Matt Patricia came from a different defensive tree than Terrell Austin. Terrell Austin went to the Cincinnati Bengals. They declined him for going from the Packers. He could have went to the Raiders, but I guess he wanted to stay in the area with the Bengals. So I'm not mad that Caldwell is out of there at all. Patricia, is that the number one guy I wanted? No. I can't exactly who I wanted to be the head coach of the Lions. I can't remember. But it wasn't Patricia. But, I mean, it is what it is. He fit. Him and Bob Quinn has a relationship that spans over like probably a decade. So, at the end of the day, I don't want no excuses from Bob Quinn. I want him to have the quarterback he want. I want him to have the head coach he want. I want him to have all the coaches he want. Because at the end of the day, he kept Jim Bob Cooter. He made his bed with that one. Because anytime you messed up with a position like the offensive coordinator position, if he succeed or don't succeed, if you mess it up, that blood is on your hand. Every draft pick you miss or hit in, that blood is on your hand. You get the credit, you get the disc, you don't get the credit at all. So, at the end of the day, I want him to be comfortable. I want him to have all the coaches in his coaching staff because I want no excuses if he don't get the job done in Bob Quinn. So let him have Matt Patricia. Let him have him. And let's see where the chips fall. I'm read these last questions. I'm gonna get up off of here. Streetwise Television. You got questions? Go ahead and ask them right now. Exactly. He didn't do anything. How do you think the rest of the sport teams in Detroit gonna do to them? If they shut them down, they gonna mess around and run out of business. Yep. But they won't shut them down. No, they could. They won't shut them down because they need the free press and the Detroit news to get the media, the bridge to the folks. So that's a working relationship, man. Not only that, the media is linked to the Henry Ford Hospital and a lot of the Ford's businesses as far as the Ford car plant. So they won't do that. That goes deeper just in Detroit Lions though, but it is what it is. Riderless 2D. I wonder if they were just scared the Lions haters of Patricia because they knew he had at least tried to lead the Lions to a Super Bowl. Exactly. Orlando. He said he had the highest winning percentage in Lions history. I think if Hyder and Haloti Ngata didn't get hurt, they would have won 2 more games. Quinn just didn't want him, Jim Bob Cooter, because Stafford wanted him. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. Bob Quinn wanted his own coach, but at the end of the day, Jim Caldwell didn't win a playoff. They won a playoff game, man, and he made too many mismatch coaching and management errors. He didn't challenge certain plays, and it was a lot of dumb shit he did, man, too. Don't forget that, man. He mismanaged a lot of times, and so did Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz made a lot of the mismanagements, and this team was so under control. It was just so not disciplined, man. By Matt Patricia, that's the number one thing I'm looking at this season for Matt Patricia is game management, man. Jim Caldwell failed at managing games, calling timeouts. So that's the one thing I want to see from Matt Patricia. How does he manage the game? How does he use the challenges? How does he use the 2-minute mark? How does his defense will be second? I want to see, and obviously Jim Bob Cooter offense without Jim Caldwell. See how that works out. Streetwise Television. I feel like Jim Caldwell was folding under pressure, so the team folded under pressure. I feel that's the reason for his firing. Plus, I didn't like Austin. Didn't want to be here anymore, low key. I don't think Terrell Austin didn't want to be here no more. I don't think that was the case because they was considering him hiring him as the head coach. I don't feel like that. He still did his job. The defense did his thing. But hey, you could be right. You know, maybe Terrell Austin wouldn't be here no more. I think Terrell Austin was one of the best coordinators we had, man. I think he should be a head. He should have been a head coach somewhere. And he could have been a head coach somewhere. You know, he did great things without Ndamukong Suh, with Ndamukong Suh. He had his defense on point, man. He really did, man. No more questions, man. We're gonna log off, man. Big day on my other channel, so I can get back to another video today. I'm still waiting. Day 60 for Detroit Pistons head coach after the season. Since the season ended, 60 days. Shout out to Golden State Warriors, won a championship last night, man. Getting ready for the draft. Pistons don't have a draft pick, so they got a second-round draft pick. I want them to get the guy with Villanova, the one that killed Michigan, but it look like he might go in the end of the first round now, man. So at the end of the day, man, Pistons going to have a rough offseason. Also, I know this is off topic, but you think we going to run some Wildcat this year with KJ? I doubt that. Nah. Won't be no Wildcat with Kerryon Johnson this year. It might. I don't see that right there. I think early on, he going to share carries with LeGarrette Blount. And I think eventually at the end of the season, he going to get more carries. I think that's what it's going to be with him, man. You know, he going to get his carries. They're going to preserve him and then let LeGarrette Blount and him, you know, gangbang and shit. And eventually he'll take off. I think he's going to take off so good that LeGarrette Blount won't be here next year. I honestly do think that. I think he'll control. If he stays healthy and if he does good this year, he's going to be the primary back next year as well. LeGarrette Blount, Amir Abdullah, Dwayne Washington, Zach Zenner, they won't be on this roster next year. I think so, man, if he does well. If he don't do well or they're not sure, if he has like a Melvin Gordon type of rookie season, LeGarrette Blount will be back next year. If not, I don't anticipate LeGarrette Blount being back. I anticipate it's going to be next year. It's going to be Kerryon Johnson. They're going to get another running back, and theoretically it's going to be the rotation, man. But until next time, my brothers, we gone.